just held it inside. And he had a rebound with one hand as he fought off Schroeder. You'll see him on the right side. He was inside Schroeder, and he knew it. And just in case that ball came in his direction, he was going to own it.
Now, Durant is handling a lot of the rebounding tonight with 13. But this is now the third straight game that Clay has been more of a factor on the boards. He did in L.A., did it against Minnesota. He's got 3 boards tonight, but that offensive rebound comes at a key time. Rebound difference is only 39-36. The Warriors have been good on the glass.
I love three-point plays.
Schroeder will get to the line. So Klay Thompson will pick up his second.
Well, Schroeder lost his balance there. Clay thinks he did not commit a foul. I didn't have an angle on it.
Hey, Schroeder is quick and clever, and as you said, Jim, it's almost daring him into, luring him to taking jump shots, because when he drives the lane, he's no joke.
No, he becomes twice the player when he is on the perimeter.
So Steph back in. Durant will sit. I think you're correct. When you look at back Schroeder's jersey, there is no umlaut on any other player that I could think of. It just looks a little interesting on the back of an NBA jersey. And he's a good enough player that you do learn to pronounce his name.
Yes, you do.
So the free throw split.
Played for the Inward Phantoms, Braunschweig, Deutschland.
I think Deutschland's Germany. Draymond can't finish that. Bazemore tipped it away. Bazemore's hurt. He got cracked in the head, and he's kind of wobbly coming to the front court.
Draymond didn't want to charge. Schroeder scores again.
3-point game at the half. Atlanta leading. 3-point game in the fourth. Warriors leading. And this one far from done with 6:40 left.
This is usually Curry time.
Steph, all that angle and just couldn't quite spin it home. He was 4 of 12 shooting tonight. Schroeder's just using that pillar of Dwight Howard setting those screens. Now crossing over, lobbing it, and Howard's manhandled by Draymond, going to make him earn it at the line. There's a way to give a hard foul, and Draymond Green just did it expertly. But it's all that Schroeder dribble penetration. He's been a problem.
He's a catalyst. He's found the rhythm here, and he's found a weak spot that he seems like he can just go to anytime.
More remarkable for Atlanta is Howard misses the free throw, and Draymond. That's how you make sure a guy doesn't make a layup. You know, we see these fingernail fouls and things like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he doesn't hang on like that, because he was on the non-shooting arm side.
He'll drag you up and dunk you in.
He'll go right up. If you hold it down just the left arm, he's going to go up and dunk it with the right. He is strong.
And Howard 1 out of 2. I was going to say for the Hawks, so Millsap's 1 of 6 and Korver's 1 of 6, and they're only down 2 to the Warriors.
I know.
It shows you how the rest of the Hawks have played exceedingly well.
The Warriors only have one 20-point score, and that's Thompson with exactly 20. The big three, the same.
Oh, Livingston was going to 180 that. Couldn't quite hammer it home.
Looks like he lost the handle at the last second.
Midway through the fourth. Bazemore, his 3. And Clay, there's the rebound.
Bazemore's 0-6 from 3 tonight.
Klay Thompson battled that out. Long rebound. Can Steph track it down? He doesn't need to. Oh! Wait a minute. The Warriors let it go because they thought it clearly was off Atlanta, and JT Orr's going to fix this. He had to look at it, and he's going to help Mark Lindsay. And it will be Warrior ball. Yeah, when it was batted by Bazemore. Draymond saw it, Steph saw it, that's why he didn't go for it.
Exactly.
A good thing JT Orr saw it too. Good communication with the three refs. Bazemore closeout. The play was fouled. It will not be continuation. Bazemore picks up his 5th personal.
Foul charge, 24 Ken Bazemore, 5th personal, 14th down.
You got to win ways, a number of different ways to win games.
And good teams usually find a way. Getting to the free throw line, not fouling, not putting them on the line, not throwing the ball away, getting the rebound when you force a miss. The little things, getting good shots.
Steph Curry out to Iguodala, didn't want the 3. Draymond will take the wing 3, rim it out. See Atlanta, see who they're leaving open. They're hugging up on Steph, not letting Clay get free. Daring others to beat them. Very well coached by the Hawks.
Watch Clay just force Schroeder to the left. Draymond reached.
Schroeder had it knocked away, a lot of contact there. Livingston on the counterattack, Sean to the rim, too strong. And we've got a loose ball foul. Steph had inside position, and Howard went over his back. That will be free throws, yes. It's a big play by Curry.
It's a nice drive by Sean. Just couldn't quite finish it. But Curry hustled. This when you hustle, good things happen. That's just a little extra effort. And now you got 2 free throws. And the guy that shoots at 90.
You said Steph's like a breakaway running back tonight, Jim, who's had to get 5 yards, 3 yards, 2 yards. I mean, he's 7 of 8 from the line. He's got 18 points, but he's had to really work for it tonight.
A lot of carries and not much yardage. But you still give it to him.
Yep.
When you need the first down.
So 8 of 9 from the line, 19 in the game, back to the 4-point lead.
They just keep the ball in Schroeder's hands. He's the general.
Well, here's that depth lineup now. Draymond at the 5 with Durant back in. Cephalosha missed the layup.
And Durant took the ball away from Howard. Tipped it away.
Curry speed dribbling. Back to KD to lay it in. Andre knew who was coming.
Tremendous play. Howard had inside position. He could not come up with a rebound.
14 boards for Durant. Schroeder loud. Draymond saw it. Howard did well to catch it, but he threw it away.
You're going to hold it back. Right up on this one.
Steph thought about the 3. And blocked out of bounds. It's still Warrior ball. Cephalosha. Nice play.
Well, the Warriors didn't have the numbers there. But Steph was thinking score all the way. He was taking that to a big traffic jam.
Pablo Cephalosha is an elite defender. Durant's just held.
This will be 2 free throws.
You can know how to guard KD, but doing it is difficult. And you pointed it out earlier, Jim. 2 disciples of Popovich coaching against each other. A lot of the out-of-bounds plays are the same. A lot of the philosophies are the same. A lot of the back cuts are the same. Fortunately for Steve Kerr, not all the players are the same. They each have a Coach of the Year award, by the way. The last 2 coaches of the year are on the sidelines tonight.
Well, Howard's got his rebound average. Only has 11 points.
This becomes the Warriors' biggest lead. They push it to 8 inside 4 minutes, and they rise at Oracle. 197 straight sellout crowds. Millsap taken away. Howard blocked by Durant. And somehow,
Shot by Millsap.
and the foul.
He's under the backboard facing the opposite way. And he goes up and shovels it in with that right hand. This is a tremendous block, first of all, by Kevin Durant. But Millsap, one of the great offensive rebounders also, knows his way around the rim. And this is a terrific putback.
So Even with Millsap 13 boards and Howard 12, the rebounding difference is only 44-40. That's because Durant's got 14 in his own right. The free throw made it. It's a 5-point game. That was a big play.
Yes, it is.
To keep the Hawks around.
Keeps them in it.
Rubens up on Curry all night. Snap down the lane, the floater. Good! He released it before the big man could get there.
Yes, he did. On the way up. Softly.
Schroeder always looking to penetrate. Now the mid-range is off. Howard guides it in.
Well, Clay switched on him, and he could never get between him and the basket.
The speed and skill beat size. We're going to find out the final 3 minutes. Curry, three.
Leading.
7 in the fourth of his 24. Jim said a couple minutes ago it might be Curry time. He's answering the bell. The kick-out pass is thrown away. And that'll be Warrior ball.
Rated M for mature. Get the new Xbox One S.
Getting an online car insurance quote from my buddy the General is a slam dunk. Get your anonymous online quote with low payments and ride with the General.
How about some help up here? For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
Start writing your style wish list. Right now at Men's Warehouse, it's buy one, get one free on great gift ideas. Select suits are $179.99. Plus top it off with 60% off outerwear and all dress and casual pants. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
Remember 2007? Smartphones? OMG. 10 years later, nothing's really changed. It's time to snap out of it. Hello, Moto. Snap on a JBL speaker. Put a 70-inch screen on a wall. Get a 10 times optical zoom. Get excited, world. Hello, Moto. Moto is here. The new Moto Z with Moto Bonds. Save up to $400 when you trade in your old phone and switch to Verizon.
These days, everyone needs a side hustle. And driving with Uber lets you go from earning to working to chilling at the push of a button. Earning, chilling. Earning, chilling. Earning, chilling. Earning.
Go, go, go!
Seatbelt.
Okay. All right, please go.
Okay.
Get your side hustle on. Sign up at uber.com/drive now.
This is LaQuartz Family Auto Repair. As you can see, they have many highly professional employees. But when everybody uses a different email address, it sure doesn't feel that way. With Optimum Business, Tony here can give everyone a consistent, professional company email address. Company t-shirts might be another good idea. For more small tips for small business, visit OptimumBusinessTips.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Appleton, president of New Jersey Car. Did you know 1 in 5 vehicles on the road right now is subject to a recall? Is yours one of them? 52 million motor vehicles have been recalled this year alone. That's one reason why new car dealerships are so important. Dealers are paid to fix manufacturing defects, and skilled technicians working at a dealership in your community are trained to make repairs that keep all of us safe on the road in New Jersey. Go to safercar.gov, then call your neighborhood new car dealer to schedule needed repairs.
All right, come on, it's game time. Let's do this. Here we go. Here we go.
Here they come.
This is going to be good.
Jump in the crossover. Look at that handle. That's what I'm talking about. You want your right, place some win. Taking him down. Got your back, got your back.
Setting him up, he's going to spin.
Time out.
Nobody panic.
What do you got, baby? Gotta go, gotta go. I can't watch this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 4. Take the action with you. NBA League Pass 5 games wherever you are.
He's almost playing at a +1 per minute played. 25 minutes, plus 21 when he's on the floor. in favor of the Warriors. That's how it is.
Curry kick out. Andre's three. Rimming half up, down and out. And that might have been the sledgehammer to put it away. Shooter down the lane, and he's denied. That caught him in the air, and the Warriors snuffed him. Curry spacing out. Andre saw either one. Durant to the right. He missed a three. And missed two knockout blow opportunities. Millsap will take the triple.
I was going to say, he is more reliable from that range than Schroeder.
This one not over. 5-point game at the 2-minute mark. After Iguodala and Durant both missed open threes. Clay cutting without the ball. Draymond found him. He missed back in there. Atlanta not done.
They're getting good shots, but they're quick and early in the shot clock, and they're not converting.
Moving from the foul line, rammed it in.
It's giving Atlanta more possessions. They're missing shots they would normally make.
Steve Kerr's going to use a timeout. It's a one-possession game.
It's interesting. Those shots that they had, Durant's three, open court, Clay's, good looks.
How about that as a good look? Out of bounds play becomes a dunk.
They're so concerned about perimeter shooting that they overplay, and the Warriors are making them pay the price there.
Steve Kerr should sell his out-of-bounds plays.
That's because of his personnel. It works.
Millsap three, rimming out. Howard, you want to foul him? And they do. Do not let him dunk that ball.
See, Durant's coming out. It was a screen by Curry, and Schroeder had nothing to do with it. He did not help Cephalosha. And Howard was at the high post defensively. He's not protecting the rim. If I were him, I'd stay inside, not worry about Draymond.
And as you said, Jim, let's say they both go with the cutter. Then Curry pops out for an open three.
Yes.
Because of the Warrior personnel, that play is almost unstoppable.
You've got to protect the basket if you're a defender. You've got to protect the basket first. That is a sure two, and Schroeder was way too high on it. No communication on the back screen.
So Howard, 1 of 2. He's been 4 of 8 free throwing. 2-possession game, winding down to the final 65 seconds of crunch time. Draymond, nice screen. Steph, open three. Atlanta's fortunate. The MVP is going to bury that all the time. This ends up being Hawks ball out of bounds. They want it replayed, and I think Benny Adams is going to talk about that, but Budenholzer's going to use the timeout. Benny Adams just indicated they will have Secaucus take a look at it. Never hurts.
Well, while they're looking at it, we talked about the out-of-bounds play in the back screen. If you switch on the play, Schroeder picks up the driver, and then Cephalosha switches out on Curry. You got to switch on it. It can be defended, and you always have to protect the basket. This one, well, it might have gone off the left hand of Howard, too. I don't know how to call it.
Well, it was called off of Draymond, and I think that call actually is correct, that it will be Atlanta ball. So 55.6 left. Now they switch. Durant's got Howard. Schroeder attacking. Denied by Draymond. They clear aside. They're going to let the little guy work on him. And Draymond Green blocked the shot, and he blocked it off of Schroeder. Oh, man!
And that is one quick guard to defend. This is tremendous. Draymond goes back to the basket where Schroeder is heading. He doesn't try to cut him off at a different angle because that would be a foul. He goes back and gets position.
The German drives, and Draymond says 9.
Okay. Big play.
Playing the clock and the Hawks right now. Steph with the shot clock at 9. An open Draymond on the reload. He sets the screen. Howard jumps out at him. Shot clock at 3. Steph for the tough step back 3, and Howard bothered him on the air ball.
Too much dribbling on the play. They stopped moving.
Two-possession game. The Hawks go for the 3 now. Bazemore driving. Draymond's there again. Another block by Draymond Green. Another out of bounds off Atlanta. Are you kidding me?
Well, Bazemore evidently thinks he can go through a wall. He has nowhere to go because he didn't realize Draymond Green was going to switch out. That clearly went off his foot. That is what I'm talking about. The help defense from Draymond Green.
Tell you what, if you're wondering who the defensive player of the year is, that's the guy. We're not quite at the quarter pole. He is having a defensive season like no other.
On full display tonight. That is, we saw him negate Schroeder, and then in successive attempts by the Atlanta Hawks, he takes Bazemore. Now, Bazemore is very athletic, but he's got to realize you cannot be out of control, and you've got to have an advantage. You can't just go through people.
Steph missing the free throw, so he's 8 of 10. Hawks have 1 timeout remaining. It's an out-of-rhythm night for Curry. 6 of 17 shooting. And free throwing has been spectacular the last 11, and it's 1 out of 2 there. So stays the 2-possession game.
Crunch time. He was outside.
Final 8 seconds. It's a 5-point game. Atlanta's got to get a shot up. Millsap misses the 3. It'll be Warrior ball.
This is in the books.
The Warrior franchise has been around for 70 years. The 4 longest winning streaks are 28, 16, 12, and now 12. They all have occurred under Steve Kerr.
Andre, this is interview number 2. Do you have any opening statements, or can I proceed?
I left 11 points out there.
How so?
I missed some open shots. Steph and Clay and KD, they'll make sure we get open, and I got knocked down shots. It was a good game for us, though. Good test. Atlanta hadn't been playing so well, but we knew they would get it good. They would give us a good game. They beat Cleveland in Cleveland, the only team to go in there and win so far this year. So they're a solid team. We got a different look, which was good for us.
I know you're hard on yourself with the shots that you did miss, but in this game and often you're always with a great plus minus. Do you take pride in that and all the different ways you're affecting the game?
Yeah, well, as a ball player and as a competitor, you want to be an impact on the game, and you want to be a reason why the team's winning in whatever way possible. We got a lot of firepower. Different nights going to be different guys, especially off the bench. Ian Clarkson making great shots. It's been him a couple nights. Sean Livingston's a very high IQ player. It's going to be him some nights. David West. So JaVale's been playing really well for us. So we're still coming together at one time, but we're a work in progress.
What about Draymond Green down the stretch? 2 consecutive stops where he's stopping a fast guard. I mean, what does that say about his ability?
The thing about defense is you have to want it, and I've talked about that my whole career, and it's very few guys that really want it defensively, and it's not any tricks or anything special to it. You just got to want it, and you got a guy that really wants it, puts his heart and passion into it, and he's very smart. And it's going to take him a long way, and he'll have a few Defensive Player of the Years.
Okay, and lastly, a lot of people want to see you getting interviewed post-game now. Are you satisfied with what you've started?
No, today I'm mad at myself. So I got a next game out of I haven't played well at home at all.
Look, you're here. You're being interviewed. It counts.
I played better on the road. I don't know why, but tonight was better at home. We keep a trend going.
All right. Stay happy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here's what's happening as it's happening right now around the NBA. Backbreaking. Mike Conley out at least 6 weeks with a fracture in his lower back. A month into the season, what direction will the Grizz go to fill the richest contract in NBA history. Most valuable one-man show. Westbrook and Harden off to historic starts, each leading their team to 11 wins. Tonight we'll be joined in the studio by Steve Smith to discuss just how important the win column will be to deciding the MVP vote. Rim protection, fueled by the naysayers. Draymond Green making a statement about the Dubs defense, but is he also winning over the voters on his campaign for Defensive Player of the Year? We're talking with the newsmakers and news reporters with opinion, perspective, and predictions. This is 10 Before Tip. Wild Tuesday. Welcome to 10 Before Tip inside of Studio B in Atlanta. I'm Jared Greenberg. Later in the show, we're going to go live to Brooklyn, where the Clippers will be without Blake Griffin tonight as LA tries to end its two-game skid. More details to come. It's Fan Night on NBA TV. Right after us, you got the starters. They hit the air. Then it'll be game time. Then coverage of Houston and Utah tipped off with the Auto Trader pregame at 8:30 Eastern. 10 Before Tip number one. What's being talked about now? New coach, new trainer, still the same Grizzly injury bug. Mike Conley won't play for at least the next 6 weeks. No surgery required. However, an injury to his vertebrae will put on pause what has started off as Conley's best season of his career. And this is just months after he inked a record-setting 5-year, $153 million deal. 10 Before Tip number two. It's a status update, and it's not a good one for the Grizz. Let's get the local perspective from a 12-year point guard in the NBA, the guy who now calls Grizzlies games on the telecast. Brevin Knight joining us here. Brevin, I would have to say many feel like the Grizzlies unexpectedly got off to a pretty good start here, but it feels like woe is me for this team. You can't get out your own way with these injuries.
Yeah, it feels like the injury bug just continues to follow us, and Mike had gotten off to a career year and was really doing a great job of finishing games for this team, alleviating a lot of pressure from the other guys. So it was a big blow, and not just for what he does on the floor, but just how much the guys rely on him and how much they believe in him and how much confidence he gives the other players.
Have you gotten any insight as to whether 6 weeks seems realistic?
I think that at this point we're all hearing the same thing. We're up in Toronto now, so we left this morning, so we weren't able to see him. But that's at this point that's the preliminary talk, the preliminary time limit. So we have to live by that at this point.
You mentioned you're in Toronto. It starts what is going to be a very difficult schedule. Add in the fact that Mike Conley won't play, and Brevin, when you break it down by the numbers, man, it is an uphill battle for this team now. They're going to play 16 teams that are over 500 over the next 25.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough battle, and that means at this point for Andrew Harrison and Wade Baldwin, they're going to have to speed up their growth as being point guards in this league, but they're going to rely heavily on Marc Gasol. Zach Randolph, when he's able to come back at some point and having to deal with the passing of his mother, those two guys will have to be workhorses on the inside. Defensively, they're going to have to be stout, make the possessions less in the game, cut down on mistakes, and just try to maximize at every position. And you try to steal some games here and there, you get yourself in a good rhythm, but it's definitely a shock to the system right now.
Brevin, I was locked in on League Pass last night watching your broadcast, and you were just raving about Nick Van Exel as an assistant coach and what he has done for this team, specifically Mike Conley. So Coach Van Exel now has a really difficult task. Who can he get to step up? You mentioned some of the young guys, but what Coach Van Exel's done for Mike Conley be translated to somebody else?
I think the big thing for him is just he has to instill confidence in our two rookie point guards that the team still believes in them, that they have the ability to go out and play the position, but they still have to be themselves. They don't have to be Mike Conley. They don't have to pick up the points that he did, but they're going to have to be more solid. They're going to have to figure out how to run the offense efficiently, but mostly on the defensive side. We always say that the big thing that the Grizzlies talk about is that defense travels. And right now they're going to have to really rely on being stout defensively, getting stops, but nobody really trying to step outside of your character and do too much. And again, I go back to the guys that have been here and done it before. Tony Allen's going to be a leader. Marc Gasol is going to really step up and shoot more shots than he may be comfortable with doing. And then once that comes back, he never has a problem with him being effective on the offensive end.
You just don't see, though, those guys that are able to handle the ball and pick up the load, so it's probably going to have to be Andrew Harrison, Wade Baldwin, or there's been some names thrown around. Brevin maybe looking to bring back Mario Chalmers with the team last year, maybe Norris Coles, or even Jared Jack, who was released before the season by the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, there are some names that they're definitely floating around and talk. The team will have to. Well, we have 15 guys on contract, so you have to wait until they're able to get an injury exception, and then they can move on from there. But there will be, at this point, you got to play with what you have. And so Coach Fitz and his staff they'll go in and they'll have the game plan necessary to give the team a chance to win. It's just about going out and executing, and then hopefully you get some of these other guys like James Ennis, who is out, Chandler Parsons, who's still out for this team. You can get some of those guys back from injury that can alleviate some of the pressure from the young point guards having to do more than what they're able to do at this point.
Just a crushing blow. Can't believe more injury news. Mike Conley, one of the great guys in this league. Speedy recovery to him. Brevin Knight will be locked in on League Pass tomorrow as your Grizzlies are in Toronto. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Jerry. Have a good night.
That's Brevin Knight. Let's tell you now what's buzzing. On to number 3 in 10 before tip. Already MVP talk. And yeah, these two former teammates atop the list right now. Russell Westbrook, 8th triple-double last night. He's second in the league in assists, only trailing James Harden, who's first, also 4th in scoring. The man who put the ball in Harden's hand, his coach, Mike D'Antoni, who, by the way, while much different players, has a bit of experience telling the guy like this to lead the offense.
Until you coach a guy, you don't know how good they are, like Steve Nash. I knew he was good when we wanted him. We didn't know he was that good. Same with James. I knew he was good. He's one of the top players in the league, but what he does on a night-in, night-out basis, how he sees the floor, the way he runs the pick and roll, how he can score, he's incredible.
All right, let's bring in Steve Smith. Big night for you. I know you got your mind in a lot of places tonight, Sparty. So
I love it. Let's
talk about the MVP. First, okay, let's play a game of 1 to 10. We're going to ask you to rate the MVP vote, but know this first. Not since 81-82, Moses Malone has a guy won the MVP in a full season without winning 50 games. Yeah, they both have 11 wins, but rate it for us on a scale of 1 to 10. Harden, Westbrook, 10 being the most likely they get it. Okay. If they win MVP
without having 50 wins.
Or how important those 50 wins are.
Well, winning is always important, and I think when you look at these two guys, I think what they're doing is historical, especially James Harden and also Russell Westbrook together, what they're doing from their position and how much energy they have to exert. I think both of those guys have to definitely be above 500. Right. And I think in the West, you'll give them a pass because you have Golden State, you have San Antonio, and the Clippers that will run away with, I think, 1, 2, 3. So I think they got to be at least around 45, 46 and have home court advantage. But when you start looking at winning, LeBron James right now is the guy ahead. But I have Harden, then I got Russell Westbrook passing him. And if Russell can average a triple-double, in some kind of way be close to 4 or 5, I think he has a great chance of getting it.
But if he does do it, then the conversation goes historic, right? Yes. Oscar Robertson, and in 61-62, he didn't win MVP, so are voters going to be inclined to give Russell Westbrook something that the voters didn't give Oscar Robertson?
I think yes. The reason why is most of the voters pick Russell Westbrook, and they want to be right. They don't want to be wrong. Right. I think that most of those guys, if there's between Russell or LeBron or Harden, if it's close, they'll give it to Russell because most people pick Russell at the beginning of the year.
Well, Smitty, we got a busy Tuesday night. You'll be a part of Fan Night, and you're not done here on 10 Before Tip. We got plenty to do here before we say adieu to you. We're coming right back in. That's nice. Fresh cut there, huh? We're going to go live out to Utah, where Trey Kirby is going to join us to talk about that Houston-Utah matchup.
The real beard.
Here's something to get stuck on this holiday season. Switch to Cricket Wireless and get the Samsung Galaxy AM2 for free. Plus, plans now start at $30 a month. Just a little holiday cheer from the merrier carrier. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Furnace breakdown? Oh no, that could be a $3,300 bill you weren't expecting. Fridge on the fritz? That could cost you $2,500. Burst pipe? That could be $1,100. But not if you have a home warranty plan from First American. With a First American home warranty plan, when a covered appliance or system breaks, call or click. That's it. And we'll repair or replace it for you. And for most covered repairs, all you pay is a small service fee. We have plans that cover air conditioning, most appliances, plus heating, plumbing, electrical systems, and much more. Plans start as low as $24 a month. And most come with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee.
We had a high-end dishwasher go kaput. They put in a brand new dishwasher. I called them, and they fixed it.
Why let a major system or appliance breakdown bust your budget or go through the hassle of trying to find trustworthy service people? Get the First American home warranty plan. And when a covered item breaks, call or click. That's it. And we'll repair or replace it for you. We're part of the First American family of companies, named one of the most trustworthy companies in America by Forbes magazine.
Reliable, safe, knowledgeable, trustworthy people. It's absolutely worth it. More than our money's worth.
You save a lot of money. Tremendous amount of peace of mind.
Perfect.
Last year alone, we saved our customers over $140 million in repair and replacement costs. Don't wait until it's too late and you're stuck with a huge repair bill because your air conditioner, furnace, or fridge broke.
First American makes the headaches go away. It's that simple.
That's a big savings. If you don't have First American warranty, get it.
Call 1-844-600-2265 or visit protectmybudget.com for a free no-obligation quote. That's 1-844-600-2265 or visit protectmybudget.com for a free no-obligation quote. Call now.
Start writing your style wish list. Right now at Men's Warehouse, it's buy one, get one free on great gift ideas. Select suits are $179.99. Plus top it off with 60% off outerwear and all dress and casual pants. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
Congratulations, guys. We did it. We make the playoffs. We are going to win it all. This we are.
But we got strong guys too. There's a difference in being big and strong and having a little nastiness.
I want some nasty!
You know, I think Adams and Cantor have a little nastiness to them.
I want some nasty!
And that's where our bigs have to get, where you're not afraid to knock the guy down, especially if he keeps, shoving you under the basket. You got to do something at some point.
We got manhandled.
You use the word manhandled. I mean, how do you guys change that?
How do we change that?
How do you avoid having that happen again?
Just got to keep grinding, man. It's not fun to have that happen to you and then have to answer questions about, guys out rebounding, you out competing.
People are kind of calling our defense out, with Logan leaving. And that kind of pisses me off. The world says we traded our defense away when we got KD. I disagree. If somebody said, the Warriors' offense is going to suck, KD would be pissed, Steph would be pissed, and Clay would be really pissed. So that's kind of how I feel about the defense, man.
Bad defensive team say what? Draymond on a mission. Let's go around the NBA. We're going to go to John Schumann from NBA.com in Brooklyn in a moment. He's got major updates for you for your nightly fantasy roster for the Clippers. Let's begin with our fan night game. Houston and James Harden, and James Harden's favorite reporter, Trey Kirby, in Utah tonight. First, let's get your reaction here, Trey, being around these two teams with the Mike Conley news. Fracture in his lower back out at least 6 weeks.
Just a brutal break for the Grizzlies. They have 16 of their next 22 games are against playoff contenders. Half of those games are on the road. It's going to be a tough schedule for them over the next at least 6 weeks. But I don't think you're going to get any sympathy from the Jazz and the Rockets. The Jazz, of course, have only had Gordon Hayward and George Hill healthy for 4 games together this season. Derek Favors is out right now. Nobody really knows when Alec Burks is going to be back on the court. As for the Rockets, they just got Patrick Beverley back in the past couple of weeks. So I think it's safe to say that injuries and health is really going to help decide the Western Conference playoff picture. Unfortunately for the Grizzlies, they've been hit the hardest. They're going to be now playing with some young point guards in it, Wade Baldwin and Harrison. Chandler Parsons only played 6 games so far this season. If the Grizzlies can figure out how to play 500-ish basketball over the next couple of months, that would be great. It'll keep them in the mix, and who knows what's going to happen in the second half of the season.
All right, Trey, let's talk about your game and understand an encounter with James Harden today.
Yeah, I did have an encounter with James Harden today, and since he's going to be seeing quite a few different looks tonight between Gordon Hayward, George Hill, Rodney Hood, maybe even Joe Johnson, I asked him how those different players would affect the way he attacks. He said it doesn't matter to him who's guarding him, and he's just going to do what he does, which is go to the hoop and find others and continue to create. And if you've seen the Rockets play this season, you know it's working. The guy is 4th in the league in scoring, leading the league in assists. And like you heard earlier, his coach, Mike D'Antoni, compared it to when the Suns acquired Steve Nash. He didn't know how good he was going to be until he got him here and saw just how Harden is thriving in all this space in D'Antoni's system. It's really a perfect marriage between coach and player, if you ask me.
Fan night coverage gets underway at 8:30 Eastern, but you don't have to wait that long to see Trey. Coming up in just about 14 minutes, you'll join the starters right here on NBA TV. Trey, thanks so much for joining us from Utah via Cisco Telepresence. We go to Brooklyn now, where John Schumann is covering the Clippers and the Nets for NBA.com. Shu, what's going on with Blake Griffin?
Blake Griffin is getting a rest day tonight here in Brooklyn. Doc Rivers said that it's just it's nothing to do with a little calf thing that Blake has had in the past. It's basically was planned well in advance. The teams these days using analytics, using new tools regarding players' workload to determine, the best time to rest them, how many games they can play over a course of the season, how many minutes they can play. Clippers are one of those teams this year. They're gonna give guys rest. Blake Griffin is sort of the first one to get the day off, but you might see the same with Chris Paul, DeAndre Jordan later on.
All right, you wouldn't think a game against the Nets would be big, but I would say that it certainly is, with the Cavs staring the Clippers down coming Thursday and trying to end this mini slide of 2 consecutive losses after a 10-1 start. And you really have to look at what was their strength early on as their struggles now.
Yeah, the Clippers led the league in defense for the first few weeks of the season, but if you look at that's the end of the floor where they've regressed. A little bit of regression was inevitable. They were playing so well, but if you look at their three-point defense, they've been the worst three-point defense in the league over their last 10 games. I talked to Doc Rivers about that a little bit today. He said it starts with their pick and roll coverage, and three-point shots come from paint penetration, and so it starts with their pick and roll coverage and closing off the paint. And that would allow them to contest shots on the perimeter better.
John Schumann, we look forward to your coverage of this one tonight as the Clippers play without Blake Griffin in Brooklyn, where they have dominated the Nets of late. And the Nets have dropped 7 straight coming in. John, thanks so much.
All right, Jared.
All right, John's got more on NBA.com. Let's bring back in Steve Smith to talk about this Clippers struggles here. And this road trip really tailor-made for the Clippers. You think about playing Dallas, Detroit, still without Reggie Jackson, no Paul George or C.J. Miles for Indiana, and then the Brooklyn Nets before you play the Cavs. Well, they're coming in limping now to this matchup with Cleveland on Thursday.
Well, they have to take advantage, like you said. These are some teams they should beat, and like John Schumann said, they started off, and it was a more defensive-minded team at the beginning of the season, and we talked about it. Those teams were kind of the sub-500 teams. I think right now, as the test is going to be with the Cavs, and also mentally this one, because if you drop this one, then we start saying, here we go, Clippers again. I think what they have to do is understand is DeAndre Jordan, everything can't be funneled into the big guy. You have to quit stabbing at the basketball, taking chances, get in the stance, and most of the time when you watch the Clippers, they're pretty good, Jared, for the first initial option. The ball is swung around and everybody stands up. They got to find a way to say, I'm not going to let my guy get to DeAndre Jordan. They put a lot of pressure on him.
Remember all those games the Clippers played last year without Blake Griffin and how that opened up the court for Chris Paul. They have to take advantage of that again tonight.
Yeah, they do, and I think the one thing is they play well when they have a lot of space. And nothing against Blake Griffin, but when you have DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin, there's not a lot of guys. There's nowhere Chris Paul can go. He is one of those guys at his size. He needs a lot of room. So today, I think DeAndre Jordan has a huge game against Brook Lopez.
Smitty, it is not just a big Utah-Houston game here at NBA TV. There's a lot going on. Not what you think. It's our fan night tournament, and it is still round 1, and it is the best move. Who's got the best go-to of all time? AI, his crossover against the Hakeem Olajuwon.
Can I boycott this? No. I lost last week to Dwayne Wade. Kevin Cottrell, I thought this was the NBA TV. We were a family. Right. Homer. Pump fake. I lost to a pump fake.
I hear these days it's pretty trendy to ask for a recount.
Oh, I like that. But this is going to be a good one. The crossover AI versus the Dream Shake. I love AI and his crossover. Well, this was Isaiah Thomas, Tim Hardaway, and then AI has a different kind of version. It was fantastic. I'm a Dream Shake guy, and that's my guy, AI, so AI will win this because of the era of social media, but the Dream Shake was unstoppable.
So you think the Dream Shake was a better overall move? Tougher to guard.
Tougher to guard.
Well, let's take a look here at this footage of Hakeem Olajuwon.
Oh, here we go. That's not really, this is the one. Yeah. Oh, just a sec. You can't move your hips like that, Jerry. You don't have that in there.
You know nothing about that.
I don't really want to know, but I've seen you dance a little bit. But you see the Dream Shake, you got to have a little rhythm.
So you pick Hakeem. You got Sparty or the Blue Devils?
Well, I'm waiting for Grant Hill to, I'm going to text him to see what's going on.
How about Rick Fox last night on Game Time telling you that the pounding the floor came from...
I thought he was a Carolina Tar Heel guy. He gave them credit.
You invented the pounding of the floor.
No, Michigan State did. That's something we did in Detroit. You slap your hands and give them your stance. It didn't come from Duke.
Not that many college games on TV all that often back in the day, so maybe Rick Fox missed it.
Rick Fox is getting a little delusional. He picked something from Duke.
Kentucky. Anthony Davis. He says, hey, listen, my guys are good. I watch what's going on social media. We got enough good guys in here to be a good basketball team. Smitty, we appreciate you joining us. We'll see you.
I appreciate it.
On Game Time at 7:30. The Lakers Bulls should be a good one.
Snazzy, too. Kobe deal.
See me down.
Every Tuesday, let your fan night flag fly. We got the biggest matchups all season long, a banner we wave proudly. We cheer just as loud as you, because we're fans too. Laugh with us, rock with us. The band's back together, plus we welcome in the new guy. Interact with us, vote for the best move in the league. We'll hold up your tweets and display them on NBA TV. Experience fan night with your fellow fans. Fan night presented by Verizon. Rockets, Jazz. Coverage begins tonight at 8:30 p.m. on NBA TV.
In 1931, Auguste Piccard became the first man to reach the stratosphere. 3 decades later, his son Jacques became the first to reach the ocean's deepest point. Hennessy, never stop, never settle.
Start writing your style wish list. Right now at Men's Warehouse, it's buy one, get one free on great gift ideas. Select suits are $179.99. Plus, top it off with 60% off outerwear and all dress and casual pants. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
It's the holidays at Verizon, and the best deals are on the best network. Yes! With no surprise overages, you can use your data worry-free, and even carry over the data you don't use. And right now, get 4 lines and 20 gigs for only $40 per line. And just for the holidays, buy the new Pixel, phone by Google, and get $400 back.
I love you in that. No, I love you in that. No, I love you in that.
Get the best deals and the best network, only on Verizon.
As we approach the 2016 presidential election, Hudson Honda would like to formally announce its candidacy.
A vote for Hudson Honda is a vote for savings.
Like the newly redesigned Civic LX lease for $129 per month, Hudson Honda offers a wide field of candidates with hundreds of pre-owned vehicles to choose from.
And with a convenient location on Kennedy Boulevard, in between the Lincoln Tunnel and George Washington Bridge.
Hudson Honda is clearly presidential. So elect to save this election year and cast your vote for Hudson Honda.
I'm Hudson Honda and I approve this message.
You can buy your BMW anywhere, but why not buy from Dealer Rater's #1 rated BMW dealership in the country 5 years in a row, Park Ave BMW. Find exceptional offers on every certified pre-owned BMW, like 0.9% financing and a $750 loyalty credit. Plus, buy a 2013 528i for $28,498. Why is Park Ave BMW Dealer Rater's #1 BMW dealership in the country for a 5th straight year? Our dedicated staff makes all the difference.
And I'm one of the reasons why.
And I'm one of the reasons why.
We are all reasons why.
Stat stuffers, Jazz. 3-1 on back-to-backs. Rockets come in, winners of 5 of 6, averaging nearly 15 threes during the stretch. Jazz defense, though, allows the second fewest threes per game. Sense a theme on this Tuesday night around the association. The Hornets, they've got a pretty simple formula for success. Don't give up double-digit threes. Well, you know that this Detroit team they're playing tonight has not hit 10 or more threes in a single game this season. But James Harden is known as the Beard. But did you know that Harden's coach also has a name all about facial hair? So
coach, you had a mustache for most of your coaching career.
You took it. I mean,
I have to ask, I saw on Wikipedia, when you played in Italy, they called you Il Baffo. Yeah. Italian for the mustache. What made you finally give it up?
Well, you get to a certain age and you'll find out you just look a little younger without it.
Much more from Trey Kirby live in Utah. The starters coming your way at the top of the hour. Just moments. They'll talk about Russell Westbrook's triple doubles and also the very latest on Mike Conley's back injury. We got more 10 before tip next on NBA TV.
Winning was a challenge, but repeating will be too. Because there are 29 teams in our way again, and they've all come back stronger, more determined, more experienced, and ready. They won't back down, but neither will we. This is why we play.
What if your car could make you money? With Uber, you can earn when you want and chill when you want. Because your car isn't just a car. It's a four-wheeled money-making machine. So get your side hustle on. Sign up at uber.com/drive now.
Hey, you want affordable auto insurance from a company that provides great customer service? Check out the General.
At the General, monthly payments are low, and you can get immediate online proof of insurance.
Get your anonymous online quote with no payments and ride with the General.
Perfect. Now let's do the free throws. For a great low rate you can get online, go to the General and save some time.
It's the Joseph A. Bank Buy One Get One Free sale going on now store-wide. Plus all executive wool and cashmere silk blend sport coats are $129. All wool casual car and pea coats are only $149. And all traveler sport shirts and cotton sweaters are only $39. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
In 1931, Auguste Piccard became the first man to reach the stratosphere. Decades later, his son Jacques became the first to reach the ocean's deepest point. What's your wild rabbit? Hennessy. Never stop, never settle.
Remember 2007? Smartphones? OMG. 10 years later, nothing's really changed. It's time to snap out of it. Hello, Moto. Snap on a JBL speaker. Put a 70-inch screen on a wall. Get a 10 times optical zoom. Get excited, world. Hello, Moto. Moto is here. The new Moto Z with Moto Bonds. Save up to $400 when you trade in your old phone and switch to Verizon.
Give you a look courtside of what's going on tonight in San Antonio. The Spurs have a pretty darn good shot at beating the Magic. And check this out. The last time the Spurs had a home loss against Orlando, January 11th. That's of 2009. Spurs come in winners of 9 straight overall. In Milwaukee, Matthew Dellavedova takes on his former mates. Get it? Series there. Cleveland in town. Cavs have won 4 in a row. But Dellavedova's been playing really well. Last 2 games, 16 assists, just 3 turnovers. Getting more courtside look at Julius Randle warming up. See if he can go. Missed the last 3 with a hip pointer. The Lakers bench has been so good. But hey, the Pelicans won 4 of the 6 since Jrue Holiday has returned. Randle expected to play tonight. There is Jrue Holiday, man. What a boost he's given the Pelicans, and Tim Frazier remains the starting point guard and has really made a name for himself. All these games we cover right here on NBA TV. We'll show you live the Jazz and the Rockets. Auto Trader pregame on Fan Night gets underway at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central, if you will. We'll be back tomorrow with more 10 before tip, starting at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific for those of you math majors. Right now, it's time for the starters here on NBA TV. The fellows will have the very latest on Mike Conley's back injury, in which he is expected to miss the next 6 weeks for the Grizzlies.
On today's show,
we discuss Westbrook's insane numbers, the Warriors' winning streak, and Mike Conley's latest injury.
In Crossfire, we debate the teams, players, and storylines no one is talking about.
And Trey Kirby joins us live from Salt Lake City to set up tonight's Rockets-Jazz game.
It's Tuesday, November 29th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're listening to the podcast, joining us live right now on NBA TV or a little bit later on YouTube, happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, is Tess Millis.
Hello. That'll do.
To his right, the international man of mystery, taking it to the stash. Willis.
Friend.
And last, certainly not least, joining us live in Salt Lake City, it is the bearded one. Looks like he's about to catch a train. Trey Kirby. Hey, TK. Awesome sweater, first off, and well, I know you haven't been to Utah before. How's Salt Lake City treating you?
Well, Salt Lake City is pretty cold here, Skeets. As you can see, there's snow on top of the train station, so you got to stay cozy. And what better way to stay cozy than with a fluffy hotel robe?
Oh, boy.
Just look at these beauties. I'm usually more of a leopard print guy. This zebra print is just stunning.
Wow.
I thought about stealing one of these, but then I looked up how much they cost. $150 for one of these robes. Just take one from my angry Uncle Bob's house next time I see it.
We can expense it. Yeah, we can expense that.
Yeah. All right, never mind. I'm stealing two, though.
All right, guess so. All right, Trey, we're going to talk to TK a little bit later in the show. Talk to Mike D'Antoni, and we'll get his thoughts as we get ready for that Rockets-Jazz game tonight on the network. But seeing as we're just rolling with the three of us here in the studio today, time to play a little Are You in Sync? The rules are very simple. I'm going to hit Tass and Lee with a question. We're going to count them down. They'll fire off their answers at the exact same time, and then, and only then, do we just see how in sync everyone actually is. And we start with Russell Westbrook, who posted another triple-double on Monday night, scoring 27 points to go along with 18 boards and 14 assists in the win over the Knicks. Westbrook now averaging 30.9 points per game, 10.3 rebounds, and 11.3 assists in 19 games into the season. Guys, will Russell Westbrook finish the season averaging a triple-double? Answers in 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Oh, we're torn.
This is the year, Lee. This is the year it finally happens. I think the rebounds are the only question. I think the assists will come, the points will come. 10 rebounds for a point guard is ridiculous, but this is the year of the focus-driven and a little bit crazy in a good way, Russell Westbrook. Because Kevin Durant is gone, I think he wants to do everything for this team, and there isn't another person to take away minutes, obviously, or take away shots or opportunities. So when you see him go get monstrous rebounds night after night after night, I don't think it's just a Madison Square Garden thing like we saw last night. The guy's going to get to 10, because otherwise assists and points, it's too easy for him.
I hope you're right.
Yeah.
I am pulling for it.
Yeah.
I just don't think he can keep it up for the entire season.
It's tough.
Because the rebounds, he would have to average more than about 4 over his career average for the entire season to get that. And that's where I think he is going to run into problem. I think the assists are going to be there simply because the ball's in his hand as much as it is. And the points, obviously, he's going to get that. But at some point, I think he's just going to realize he has to slow down a little bit, conserve some energy, and that means he doesn't have to go and grab every single rebound that's available.
This is pretty fun right now. I mean, he's got 45 career triple-doubles, his 8th already, which is also the combined total of the rest of the league in your Hardens and your LeBrons and so on. And I think we can't lose sight of the fact that he's doing these triple-doubles with the 30 points per game. That's what's sort of mind-boggling. If any guy is just scoring 30 points per game in this league, we're going crazy. He's doing it with the rebounds and assists.
Well, you mentioned that because other guys like Jason Kidd have actually come close to averaging a triple-double, but only by scoring 15, 14 or 15 points. You know, and again, the rebounds has let them down because, again, as a guard, any guard, it's tough to just accumulate that many boards. But I like I say, Tass, I hope you're right. I am absolutely pulling for it, but my logic just says I don't think he can do it.
What he also has going for him is currently he would set the record for usage rate.
Right.
He would surpass Kobe Bryant and be involved in over 40% of plays. That's just a lot. He's just around the ball so much, and that ball's got energy. So it gives Russell, I think, that little added energy to get those 2, 3, 4 extra rebounds. This is just the year. This is the goodbye Kevin Durant year, the year he's going to put up whatever it is, with some ridiculous numbers, but I think double digits for 3 categories.
He really had a triple-double in the first half last night, right? Took 20 minutes total and he gets it, right? Moving on, last night, Golden State extended their winning streak to 12 games by holding off the Hawks. Kevin Durant led the way with 25 points and 14 boards. Stephen Clay scored over 20 as well, and Draymond Green, he made 2 incredible defensive plays down the stretch. All 4 All-Stars rolling for this team. The Warriors are 16-2. Guys, who is the Warriors MVP? All right, answers in 3, 2, 1.
Kevin Durant.
Okay, we're in sync. We're in sync. Thanks, Swaggy Pete. Thanks for showing
What's up, Nikki?
Nice T-shirt. All right, you guys both agree it's Kevin Durant.
He's basically scoring at his career numbers right now, and he's also putting up more rebounds, putting up more assists. He's shooting the ball at an incredible rate, 57% from the field in total, 62% on 2-pointers alone.
Those are center numbers.
Yeah, he's doing it on the defensive end as well, getting a block and a half and a steal and a half a game, and everything he's doing is just affecting his team in such a positive way. Now, Steph had such a great season last year that he's probably losing a few points because he had an incredible season and he's not matching those numbers. But every time Durant's out on the floor, it looks like the Warriors are just going to go on like a 10 to 12 point run.
I don't know how you can't pick Kevin Durant, because on the offensive end, they're both contributing a ton, but Kevin Durant is contributing a little bit more efficiently. And then you go to the other end, and he's contributing a lot on the backboards. Career high in rebounds, also career high in blocks, and 1.6 blocks per game. He's just doing what they need him to do. He had a 6-block game, a career high, last week. I feel like he's a monstrous contributor on the offensive end, as we know. But when you can do this so much on the defensive end, he is making a concerted effort to get blocks like that. And the field goal percentage, you said 57, and he's kicking Curry's butt in the 3-point percentage department, which is pretty unheard of. This is exactly what they signed up for. I don't know how you pick Steph, although he creates everything and makes it happen on the offensive end, but the defensive contributions gives KD the edge.
Yeah, the only thing with Curry is he maybe is having the quietest 26, 6-4 with his type of shooting numbers in NBA history because he's on this super team, and now they've got a little defense, and Draymond Green, a big part of that. They're rolling with that now, but it's just, that's how good he is, and this is what happens when you're the 2-time reigning MVP, and then, KD comes to your squad. He seems content, though, to be honest, so sort of taking a little bit of a back seat.
But that's the thing. I don't know if many of us expected Kevin Durant's numbers to stay basically where they were or get better coming over. We thought he was the one who would probably take a little bit of a step back. But instead, scoring the same and then contributing everywhere else, which is what the Warriors really wanted from him.
Yeah, we got 2 of the best offensive players on the planet. And then if KD picks it up defensively, which he has to for this team to be very good.
Right.
And Draymond Green can get all the credit. He may win the Defensive Player of the Year, and deservedly so, but KD's contributing.
He's important. All right, final one here, guys. This is sort of unfortunate news. Memphis Grizzlies guard Mike Conley, he's expected to miss 6 weeks with a fractured vertebrae. Conley sustained the injury during Monday's game against the Hornets when he was inadvertently kneed in the back. Now, the Grizzlies are currently sitting in 5th place in the West, but now they're down a starting point guard again. He was obviously riddled with injuries last year. Will the Grizzlies still be in the playoff hunt by the time Mike Conley comes back? Answers in 3, 2, 1.
Yes. They're going to do it. They're going to do it. I know it sounds crazy. It does sound crazy. But this team is very, very tough. They made the playoffs last year when they had an NBA record 28 players play on the roster because of those injuries, including Conley missing so many times. But what's more important, I think that Mike Conley is ridiculously tough. You saw a couple of years ago, he had that fracture in the playoffs when they had a chance to beat the Golden State Warriors. He sustained this eye fracture, facial fracture there because CJ McCollum hit with an elbow. He came back after missing only 3 games. He played with that mask on. They took 2 games from the Warriors. They were up 2-1. They maybe win that series if Mike Conley is totally healthy. They couldn't pull it out, and that's when the Warriors go on to win the title. I think Mike Conley, despite my very, very limited knowledge of the medical field, I think he comes back before the 6 weeks because he is that tough.
History actually says that's going to happen too. We've seen this type of injury before, not only in the NBA, with the NFL, I believe, Tony Romo, Cam Newton, and Turkoglu comes to mind. I think Jason Thompson a couple of years ago. Those guys did come back before the 6 weeks. Now, every injury, I'm sure, with your lower back is different from guy to guy, but I'm with you. He's a tough guy. I could see him back in 3 to 4 weeks. I sort of lean towards Test too, but you don't buy it.
Well, the only problem is now who fills in the void. You've got Andrew Harrison and Wade Baldwin coming in, and also when Conley is off the floor, the Grizzlies are very, very bad.
Their net rating falls off the cliff. I think John Schumann had a tweet about it. When Conley's out there, they're positive. When he's not, they're a minus 13.8%.
Huge difference, and that's going to be the problem for them. You can tread water for a while,
right?
But after a significant amount of time, and let's say he does miss 4, 5, 6, whatever it is weeks, I think the Grizzlies are just going to find it a little bit too hard to operate. Their offense just won't work the same. Here's the stat you're referring to there from John Schumann. Look at that net rating there. That is just enormously different.
And this team does have a bunch of other injuries already.
Yeah.
Be it Chandler Parsons or Brandon Wright and James Ennis and Zach Randolph unfortunately out right now with the passing of his mother. So they're short on bodies already again.
Yeah, what might save them is the fact that really it's only the Blazers who I think can get into the playoffs and replace them. Other than that, you've got the Kings and the Nuggets. 4 games back with the Grizzlies right now, but a lot of pressure on those teams to make sure they cash in and get those wins. I'm not sure if they can do that. So if the Blazers do pick it up, then it's going to put a lot of pressure on the Grizzlies. The Lakers, another team who we didn't expect to be there, so it could work in the Grizzlies' favour. I just think Conley's having a career year.
I was going to say, how bummed do you feel for this guy?
The numbers are amazing.
He's never made an all-star team. This looked like, hey, possibly because of career years and nearly scoring 20 points per game. The other numbers are there. The Grizzlies are good. Yeah. You think maybe this is the year that he gets a Grizzlies.
It would have been really tough to make it in the Western Conference. It would have been very tough.
For sure.
But that's what Mike Conley is. He's Ford tough.
We'll see. Hopefully he gets back sooner than the 6 weeks as is being reported right now. We're going to take a break. Lots more still to come on the show tonight. Hey, good to see a great t-shirt, buddy. When we come back, which teams, players, and storylines aren't getting enough attention? It's a special under-the-radar edition of Crossfire next.
What if I gave you what you wanted? Stop being creative. What if I lost my swag? Just did the usual, the expected, the normal. What if we had no style? That's not fair. What if we didn't drop any heat? Gave you nothing to collect? Come on, Harry. What if I was all defense, no offense? You want me to put my game in the box? Boring. So if we send the Euro step back to Europe?
Breaking niggas, leave them calling. Ballin' like I'm James.
Yeah. What if I gave them nothing to rap about?
Who am I ballin'?
What if we did this? What if we did that? What if we got the basic? Same old. What if we all stop being creative? You really want that? Didn't think so.
You don't have to pay a lot to get a lot. At Cricket Wireless, plans now start at $30 a month, monthly taxes and fees included. And we have more 4G LTE coverage than T-Mobile or Sprint. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
For millions of baby boomers, there's a serious virus out there that's been almost forgotten. It's hepatitis C. 1 in 30 boomers has hep C, yet most don't even know it, because it can hide in your body for years without symptoms, and it's not tested for in routine blood work. The CDC recommends all baby boomers get tested. If you have hep C, it can be cured. For us, it's time to get tested. Ask your healthcare provider for the simple blood test. It's the only way to know for sure.
This new Crown Royal Vanilla, so good, so smooth. Don't get me started on the vanilla. I'll vanilla this whole room up.
You're gonna do what?
Vanilla smooth. Vanilla in your ear. Vanilla in your nose already. See that? Vanilla on your sweet tooth. And now, I'm gonna vanilla your soul.
Vanilla, so good, so good.
Start writing your style wish list. Right now at Men's Warehouse, it's buy one, get one free on great gift ideas. Select suits are $179.99. Plus top it off with 60% off outerwear and all dress and casual pants. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
10 before tip sets up tonight in the NBA. You're going to get an insider's perspective with guests who are in each NBA arena, hitting the biggest storylines that will have an impact on each night's results. This is 10 before tip.
Crossfire, this is how it works. We will give Skeets and me 3 topics. We'll debate each one. At the end of it all, this guy's going to declare a winner. What's our first topic, this guy?
We all know the Cavs and the Warriors are flying right now, but there are 28 other teams in the league. So tell me, what's a team that nobody's talking about?
Here we go. How about the Spurs? They've won 9 in a row. They've won 10 of 10 games on the road. That's where they are perfect. That's unheard of. and they've already beaten the Warriors on the road, where they would have to beat them if the standings stayed as the way they are, and the Warriors are going to finish with 1. So why aren't these teams being talked about? Why isn't this guy being talked about in Kawhi Leonard? I just think they're perfect. They lock you up in the fourth quarter. They've got an incredible bench. Once again, they're stacked. A little D improvement, and they're in the conversation with the best teams in the league.
Every year it feels like you do this with the Spurs, though. No one talks about them. But I'll pick another team in Texas. I think the Houston Rockets at 11-6, with Patrick Beverley coming back to that lineup too. They've won 5 of their last 6 games. Some good wins. 2 against the Blazers. Beat the Jazz by 9. Went to Detroit. Beat the Pistons. Schumann pointed out on NBA.com the Rockets' new starting lineup with Beverley in the mix is actually even better than that potent offensive was before he came back. So that's huge. They get a little bit of defense with this team. They still have that unbelievable three-point shooting squad. This team's for real, and would cause a lot of matchup problems, I think, come the playoffs. So I think people got to be talking about the Rockets a little bit more.
Okay, next one. LeBron, Steph, Russ, and Kawhi are all having great seasons, generating a ton of buzz around the league. But tell me, who's the guy who's flying under the radar? Someone who not everybody's talking about. Here we go.
I'm going to go with Isaiah Thomas. Boston Celtics point guard Isaiah Thomas. 5'9" assassin Isaiah Thomas. Guy who's scoring 26 points per game. 6.4 assists as well. Those are both career highs. I understand this guy was an all-star last year, a well-deserved all-star. But he's gotten even better. He's got Allen Iverson texting him at like 8:30 in the morning saying, hey man, you're the real deal. But we haven't been talking about much because I think the Celtics got off to that slow start. They had all the injuries with Crowder and Horford. He's going to be an all-star lock again, and we should be talking about him more.
His three-point shooting isn't getting better. That's below average. That's not good enough. I'll tell you who's shooting
26 points per game, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you who's shooting way above average. Career highs, field goal percentage, three-point percentage, points, and rebounds, Jimmy Butler. Everybody talked about Wade and Rondo going to this team and whether or not this team would function. Well, there's a reason they're functioning. It's because Jimmy is having a career year. He's getting better. He is easily their 1A player. He's calling his own 40-point games. He said before the Lakers games, I'm going for 40, Freddie. Put me in. He got 40. I think he's been special this year. This is a career year. I can't believe the numbers he's putting up.
Okay, last round here. The Super Team by the Bay, or Skeetsy's Pooper Team in New York, Westbrook's triple-doubles as well, have all made headlines this season. But what's a storyline that we haven't heard too much about, one that nobody's talking about? Here we go.
2 teams that are underperforming big time, the Kings and the Wizards. They're imploding. I think there's going to be a huge implosion. So why not fabricate a trade to make them both implode together at the same time? Kings, Wizards, huge deal. John Wall has been talking about playing with DeMarcus Cousins. Just send him there. Send Markieff Morris there too, just because he causes some problems. It would work great in Sacramento. Sacramento would be willing to give up a ton for John Wall. They've shown that in the past. Rudy Gay wants out. It works on the trade machine. It's fabricated. Let's do it.
We're talking about fake trades all the time. I thought that's all we did half the time here. I'm going to go with a story that I'm happy no one's talking about, and that is the reports that the NBA and the Players Association are coming to terms on a new collective bargaining agreement. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. That's great. I don't want to be talking about this or the potential of a lockout, so I love that Commissioner Adam Silver and, of course, Players Union President Michelle Roberts looks like they're going to hash this out. Knock on wood. I don't know where wood is, but we got to knock on it because this is great news. So this is solid. We're not talking about it.
But it's an underrated storyline? I don't get it.
It's got nothing to do with underrated.
You talk about the Spurs and Jimmy Buckets, you in today.
Interesting stuff. Get off me. We got to take a quick break here. But when we return, Trey talks to Mike D'Antoni about his missing mustache and a whole lot more. Come on back.
Buy one, get one wings are the best.
I love the taste of free.
To me, it tastes like my garlic Parmesan wings.
Really? Yeah. Interesting. I'm just eating the free one. No harm.
Free tastes pretty good with buy one, get one wings Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. to close. This is how you Sonic.
What makes a great custom suit? Fabric sourced from the finest Italian mills. Details hand-picked by you. And made right here in America in just 3 weeks. I'm Joseph Aboud. This is my custom suit. Now available at Men's Warehouse.
Time to strike. Game on. Move out.
Nice pajamas.
Mobile Strike. Download and play now. Free from the App Store.
You don't mind driving?
No. If you don't mind a little mess, that's all.
Oh no, that's fine. My car is totally messy.
Right.
A messy car can really mess up your day. Zap Car Wash. 6 different New Jersey locations. Lightning fast, zappy clean. Mention this ad, get $4 off your next car wash. Be amazed by your car all over again.
In today's digital world, your business depends on technology to thrive. But what happens when disaster strikes? Insurance can cover tangible losses, but what plan do you have for keeping business-critical data and services up and running? EMA's Anti-Technologies can help. We'll weatherproof your business with a customized business continuity plan that minimizes downtime, service disruption, and lost revenue. You'll rest easy knowing your business is protected with a seamless, cloud-based recovery solution that grows as your business grows. Act now and contact us today.
In every game we play, there comes a point when we face a challenge. A time where we have to dig in and figure it out. That time is now. It's time to find ways to talk, listen, and learn so we can understand and be understood. That's what this game does. It reminds us that no matter where we come from, no matter our differences, there's only one way to work through our challenges. Together.
Welcome back to the show. We are getting set for NBA TV's Fan Night game. Rockets and Jazz from Utah, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, 7 Mountain Time, 6 Pacific. And to cover the game, it's our own Trey Kirby. Trey, what have you been getting up to there in Utah?
Well, I wanted to get some local Utah cuisine, so I went down to P.F. Chang's with my friend and Starters fan, Ryan Kaltenbaugh. And who should we see but Jazz point guard Raul Neto. Yes, the Raul Neto. He was there picking up food. I don't know what kind of food he ordered.
Oh, there he is in the back.
Oh, that's him in the back. Oh, okay.
That's him in the back. I'm guessing he got Chang's spicy chicken. It's their signature dish. But I can report definitively he was sipping on a pop. That's right, Raul Neto, sipping on a pop. To Raul Neto's scoop of the day.
All right, from Houston's side of things, everyone's been talking about their offense, but you managed to get a little of information from the defensive side of the ball today.
Yeah, before the season, Coach Mike D'Antoni told Zach Lowe of ESPN he wanted the Rockets to finish top 10 in defense. Hasn't quite gone that way so far, so I asked him what kind of improvements they can make on that side of the ball.
We're not going to be the best defense in tonight. We just don't have the weapons like other teams do, but we can be good. And I think it's slowly getting in there, and guys are reacting instead of thinking. And we've been better in the last game, so hopefully we can still, I'm not saying top 10 for the whole year now, but let's say the last 10 games going into the playoffs and we make the playoffs, we're a top 10 defensive team. That's what we're going to try to get to.
You got a sincere answer from Mike D'Antoni, telling it like it is right there. Now, last year with the Houston Rockets, you got to talk to James Harden about his beard. No beard today, but you managed to get a little bit more facial hair talking with somebody else.
Yeah, if you've seen Mike D'Antoni on an NBA court, he's probably had a mustache until this season. So I had to ask him what happened to that stash. Coach, you had a mustache for most of your coaching career.
You took it.
I have to ask, I saw on Wikipedia, when you played in Italy, they called you Il Baffo. Italian for the mustache. What made you finally give it up?
Well, you get to a certain age and you'll find out you just look a little younger without it, and it becomes in handy. You don't feel any younger, but at least I can portray that.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck tonight. Guys, I started going gray at 14, so the looking old is coming soon for me. Pretty soon I'm going to be looking like Santa Claus if I don't shave this thing.
Trey Kirby with the scoops from Salt Lake City. All right, Trey, we'll see you on NBA TV tonight. One quick break here on the Stars, and we'll jam some more stuff in, including the very solid Hawks with very solid play.
Start writing your style wish list. Right now at Men's Warehouse, it's buy one, get one free on great gift ideas. Select suits are $179.99. Plus top it off with 60% off outerwear and all dress and casual pants. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
Here's something to get stuck on this holiday season. Switch to Cricket Wireless and get the Samsung Galaxy Amp 2 for free. Plus, plans now start at $30 a month. Just a little holiday cheer from the merrier carrier. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
At GoDaddy, our goal is to make you look awesome online. Let's chat in football terms. This is the goalpost! The end zone, the goal of every team. We know you have goals, like getting exposure for your idea or business. With GoDaddy Website Builder, you can easily create an awesome, mobile-friendly, get you more exposure website. We call that a Website Builder touchdown! Get your free trial of Website Builder now.
Rated E for everyone.
EA Sports. It's in the game. Get the new Xbox One S.
Let me tell you about the games. More than 100 this season live on NBA TV. The teams you want to see, the players you need to see, the history makers making history right before your eyes. Now, let me tell you about the game. Not the 48 minutes, the 24 hours. Being in the NBA means round-the-clock commitment. Following the NBA means constant conversation. At NBA TV, the game doesn't stop. Because the game doesn't stop. The game is life, and it lives on NBA TV.
Quick look at last night's pick'em results. Russell Westbrook got another triple-double. Thunder won. So that means Lee and I lost with our Knicks pick. That doesn't really change much because it's down to Lee and I playing for last place here. You don't want it.
Race to the bottom.
You don't want it. It is a race to the bottom right now. We have not been great over the last couple weeks. We'll be doing something weird, embarrassing, something here on the show in early December, whoever is in last. 2 nights left in the month of November. So this is a huge game tonight. It's the Rockets Jazz. It's on NBA TV. And Lee and I disagree. That's the key part. Trey and Lee got the Rockets. Tass and I have the Jazz. Oh, come on, Utah. We can tie this thing up going into the last night.
I heard the Rockets have been good with Patrick Beverley.
They have. We're not talking about them enough. Where are we going for VSP?
We go to Oakland, but it's a beautiful, gentle boomerang from the Atlanta Hawks here. Check it out. Malcolm Delaney. Beautiful pass to Tim Hardaway Jr. Here it is again. Love these ones that just go through so many defenders. Put your arms up and we'll stop that. That's what I call a very solid play.
Very solid play. Very solid stash. Stash Watch 2016. Lee.
I would listen to that defensive advice for that stash.
You're almost done, Lee, with this mustache.
Yes.
Couple nights remaining. Donations. Wow, that was a good day for donations.
Great day for donations.
What did you have yesterday? It's like another $1,200.
Something like that, yeah.
Crazy stuff. Go to Movember.com. Search for Lee Ellis. Guys, there's like 1 or 2 nights left with this bad boy. That stash is glorious. Please consider giving to Men's Health. This morning, we recorded the Twitter show. We were live on Twitter, had a blast, discussed Draymond Green's Defensive Player of the Year chances, NBA roller coasters, and Tass introduced us to the top 5 power tankings. And here's a small taste.
This week's top 5 are entirely fictional reasons why 5 teams should tank this season. We call them our power tankings. Don't steal that name. Number 5, the Sixers. GM Brian Colangelo. His custom tall Italian collars on his dress shirts, they should be at every draft lottery. They're beautiful. They're fantastic. He was there every year for the Raptors. It just feels like he should be there. And then we'd have a lot of great Sam Hinkie jokes, I'm sure, if they did tank.
So check that out. iTunes, Google Play Music, we got it up on our site. Again, tonight, fan night on the network here, Rockets and Jazz. 9 Eastern. Trey Kirby in the house. So we'll surely see that sweater again here and there. We got fan signs, Lily.
Ryan Siegel was at MSG last Friday and he put together this sign. Great job, Ryan. Patrick out in Sacramento asks, is this the worst sign ever? Yes, it is, Patrick. Well done.
No, not even close.
Rachel out in Charlotte put this one together. It's better than Patrick's. Christine in Oakland, not at the game, but this gorgeous sign from her two children there. It was great. Jeremy out in Melbourne, Australia, couldn't get to a game, but did that. Jobber and Mrs. Jobber out in LA put together another great one.
Stuff, guys.
Great job from the Jobbers.
All right, thanks for joining us, folks. And remember, funky is usually a positive adjective, except when you have a funky taco.
Post tonight, people.
Tuesday night around the league is already underway in Charlotte. The Pistons on the road. That has not been kind to them. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist with the jumper. Tobias Harris, he's Detroit's leading scorer right now, and he has 12. Early on, Pistons lead it on the road 28-23. They're just 1-8 away from Motown so far. Welcome in. Game time on the air for a Tuesday night. Glad you're with us. I'm Matt Weiner. Steve Smith right here, the Hall of Famer Isaiah Thomas just over there. And just after 9 Eastern time, you'll see the Rockets on the road in Salt Lake against the Jazz. Though first, we're going to have to start calling them the Bad News Bears because it's nothing but bad news. The Grizzlies announced another brutal diagnosis today. Mike Conley is out at least 6 weeks due to a transverse process fracture in his lower back. Conley was injured in last night's loss to the Hornets. According to the team, the injury should heal with rest, and Conley will be reevaluated in a month's time. After signing the most lucrative deal in league history, a 5-year, $153 million contract, Conley was off to a fantastic start. In fact, on pace for career highs in scoring, three-point percentage, and rebounds, to name three. And guys, despite all the other injuries for the Grizzlies, this team had just found its stride, winning 7 of its last 9. Now he joins a list of unavailable Grizzlies, including Chandler Parsons, who's played just 6 games so far since signing a big deal to go there. Zach Randolph's missed the last 3 in a personal leave. Others on that list as well. Brandon Wright. How tough will it be for Memphis over what figures to be the next 6 to 8 weeks now?
You know, with the way Conley was playing and Steve, the way they were coming together, you know, it's hard to replace that, almost impossible. And Matt, you ask how it's going to be. It's going to be ugly because this is a league now where the point guard is the power position. It's not the big man. It's not the small forward. It's the point guard. And Conley was having career highs in all those categories that you listed. So he was driving a car. He was really the engine. And I don't know how they replace him, but to try to find a different style, slow the game down, because they can't go back to, grinding it out. But, without Conley, it's going to be extremely difficult.
I look at it, Matt, I loved from day one when Fizdale said, Zach, would you come off the bench for me? And Zach said yes. The reason why is now in that starting lineup, Isaiah, Matt, it was Marc Gasol and Mike Conley. Mike Conley could be aggressive shooting the basketball. Over the years, when you had Zach and Mark, he was kind of the third option. Never could get his offense going at the beginning. Always facilitated and deferred to those two guys. But now it was pretty much Mike Conley was going for his. Marc Gasol, if he had the mismatch, was going well. And then the next wave was Zach Randolph. I thought they had a great balance of young guys and Zach coming off the bench. And like you said, waiting to see how Chandler Parsons fit in. And they were winning without Chandler Parsons. Right. And so wherever way he fit in, I thought they were an even better team. And like you said, now without Mike Conley and the stretch they had with the teams, plus 500 teams, it's going to be tough for him.
Well, his impact shows in the numbers. Net rating, that's per 100 possessions, plus 6.5 with Conley on the floor, nearly minus 14 without him on the floor, and that's where he'll be.
That was a lot of math.
So just they're bad.
Yeah, so
bad without him. Good with him, bad without him.
That's the agent walking in and saying, 150 million.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Well, the Jazz have had more than their share of injuries this season as well, but they're slowly getting healthy and on a 3-game win streak as they host Houston tonight in our fan night game. Trey Kirby is on loan to us from the starters. His beard, however, cost extra. And Trey is with us from Salt Lake. What is the word from Utah tonight?
Well, earlier today, I got to speak with Rockets coach Mike D'Antoni and at shoot-around, and while you usually hear about offense when it comes to the Rockets, I flipped the script and got him talking defense. You mentioned before the season started that you wanted the team to finish top 10 in points allowed per possession. Hasn't quite gone that way yet. What kind of improvements?
Defense.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of improvements can you make on the defensive end to bump that ranking up?
Well, I think we are making improvements, and I think that we started off really bad. So in the last 4 or 5 games, it's better. Defense is a lot of things. We have a lot of schemes that you have to react and not think about, and it takes a while for new defensive philosophy to come in and kick in totally. And we're not going to be the best defensive team now. We just don't have the weapons like other teams do, but we can be good. And I think it's slowly getting in there, and guys are reacting instead of thinking. And we've been better in the last game, so hopefully we can still, I'm not saying top 10 for the whole year now, but let's say the last 10 games going into the playoffs and we make the playoffs, we're a top 10 defensive team. That's what we're going to try to get to.
Pretty honest answer there from Coach. If the Rockets can figure out how to play even league average defense with the way they're scoring, pretty easy to see them being a threat in the Western Conference.
Absolutely. But for the record, they are 24th in the league in defensive rating as we sit here tonight. They'll face a Utah team that still hasn't played with all its big parts because of all the injuries over the course of the season. How close do the Jazz feel like they are to becoming what they can be?
Well, they're a team that has based their identity around having 2 really big guys in Derek Favors and Rudy Gobert, which is kind of an anachronism in the NBA today. With Derek Favors out for an indefinite amount of time, it's kind of hard to say exactly what the Jazz are going to look like at their peak. They've got a really flexible team with guys like Boris Diaw, Trey Lyles coming off the bench. It's going to take getting everybody healthy. That includes Alec Burks, who nobody really knows when he's coming back yet. So health is going to be a big thing in the Western Conference playoff picture. We'll see what happens when the Jazz are finally able to get healthy. But for now, they've been playing pretty well with a little mismatched group.
And they do play defense on a 3-game win streak as they host the Rockets tonight. Trey Kirby with us from Salt Lake. Excellent use of the word anachronism tonight.
Yeah, you don't get to throw it out there very often. Thought I'd take a chance.
I appreciate that. Nicely done. Well, the defense is a work in progress for the Rockets, but the offense revolves around the 3-ball. Guys, they are launching more than ever on a pace to set new NBA records for makes and takes by a mile. I mean, it won't even be close if they continue the way they are going. They're taking around 6 more three-pointers a game already this season than last year, including an NBA record 50 three-point attempts Friday night in Sacramento. From a defensive point of view, if you're facing the Rockets, how different is it trying to game plan for that attack?
It's not difficult to game plan defensively because you know the attack is coming from the 3-point line. What's difficult is to really slow down the penetration of Harden right now, because when he gets into the lane, he's drawing so much attention, and they're disciplined enough to stay out on the perimeter and launch up threes, no matter if they're making them or missing them. And if they happen to be making them, it's going to be a long night for you defensively. And if they happen to be missing them, okay, it's going to be a great night for you offensively. So every night, when you're playing Houston, it's Russian roulette. Either they're going to make them or they're going to miss them. And if they make them, it's a great night for you. And if they miss them, it's a great night for you. If they make them, it's a bad night for you.
I look at him as, I just want to know, Matt, when you start throwing out the stats where one day you say the Houston Rockets did not take a mid-range jumper or anything inside the paint. I think, like you said, Isaiah, it comes down to game planning them is how disciplined can you be not to fall in love with shooting a 3 and hurry up in your pace. If you're not a team that runs and shoots a lot of threes and you get caught up in saying, he hit a 3 on me, I'm going to hit a 3 on him, I think the one thing is teams got to look at James Harden and say, Isaiah, you got James Harden. No, we have James Harden. And I don't think a lot of people are doing that, because on pick and rolls, you got to be so disciplined and say, if we can contain him and stop him, our chances of winning this game goes up 25% more. I think teams have to say, hey, we're going to stop James Harden, live with guys shooting threes.
You know what, Steve? And Matt, what I really admire about D'Antoni is throughout all the years, right, he's been consistent and stubborn enough to stick with his philosophy. And you've never seen a Mike D'Antoni team where they didn't understand their identity.
Right.
And when he comes to the table, this is what I believe in, this is what I do, this is what you're buying, and no matter how much criticism or praise he gets, he's never changed his philosophy. And you got to admire that about a coach right now in this day.
You know exactly who he is when he comes in for the interview or takes the job. You know exactly what he's going to do. And guys, the Rockets are on pace. Let me throw this number at you. To attempt 3,034 threes this season, which would be nearly 400 more than the NBA record.
I like you said, man, I would love to see him interviewing for a job. Coach, what do you think about defense? We're going to shoot a lot of threes.
Okay, we'll do it. So, Coach, what do you think about defense?
Well, my philosophy is a lot of spacing, pick and rolls, kick out to the three.
I know, but we have to stop Steph Curry. We have to stop.
Did you say offense? Did you say offense or defense?
No, Coach. I was talking to you about
defense. We're gonna get better if we get to the playoffs. That means we're a top 10 defensive team.
How you gonna do that, Coach?
Well, three ball. Our offense is our defense.
Houston 17 threes on Sundays. They put up a season high 130 points in Portland. Clint Capella, who does not take threes, had a career high 21 points. He's the guy to replace Dwight Howard in that starting lineup. How's he fitting in?
You know, I think he's important. And a lot of people say, just like in our meeting, what are we going to talk about Clint Capella? Yes, it's set, picks, roll, and lob. And I think for him it's going to be for him to be an art to be able to get out of the pick and roll. And if he can roll extremely hard and take somebody, Isaiah, that gives James Harden enough time to be able to create to say, well, I can shoot it and survey the floor. And you can see he's pretty good of setting picks and then understanding when to dive. I mean, I think it's an art right now is because he's just not a pick and roll guy. And people say, why are you showing him? This is a kid right now that understands, okay, there's a small. I am not going to let him get in front of me. I'm going to bury you, and I know you're going to try to build back out to the three-point line. Him setting the screen and his split second to get out of the screen and roll and ready. I don't know if Dwight's hands were as good as Capella. He catches everything, might not finish as the same as Dwight Howard when he was healthy, but he's pretty good around that rim.
You guys know there's something to be said for knowing who you are as an NBA player and excelling at that thing. Capella's doing that right now, and he comes in second in the league in field goal percentage behind Rudy Gobert, who we'll face tonight in Utah. And this Jazz team, Zeke, after just missing the playoffs last year, kind of went for it in terms of, okay, we think we're ready. And so they bring in guys like George Hill. They bring in Joe Johnson. They bring in Boris Diaw, guys who've been around, guys who have won games before. And if they ever get healthy, maybe we'll see exactly what they can be. But when you look at this team and that mix of young and new veterans, guys who are still trying to figure it out, how do you measure chemistry?
I think you measure it, Matt, by the intellect and the basketball IQ that they bring to the table. Most teams, when they're trying to get better, they go out and they get younger and better players. What Utah did is said, okay, how do we get better? How do we improve our basketball team? They didn't go out and get talent and skill. They went out and got brain and intellect, from veteran players and understood that we need chemistry on the bus, we need chemistry on the plane, we need chemistry in terms of practice, teaching our younger players good habits. So they filled the right pieces in their team from an intellectual and an emotional standpoint that gave them the good chemistry that they have right now, Steve.
Isaiah, I look at this team and sometimes you say, I go, how many two-way players they have? About 5 or 6 guys, maybe not elite. How many offensive guys that can create their own? It's a few. How many guys have great basketball IQ? 5 or 6 or 7 in each category, and then totally good guys. I mean, every time I look at they have shooters, they're not the greatest shooters, but they have guys that can make shots. We need the guys understand their roles. Is there somebody trying to be better than Gordon Hayward? No, Rodney Hood saying, I'm trying to be Rodney Hood. Trey Lyles is another guy saying, well, I think I should be starting, but I'm okay. They're still starting Boris Diaw, keeping him in his role. Then you got a Shelf and Matt. He's the perfect backup, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Bulldog, tough. If George Hill decides to get hurt or don't want to play a game, I'm okay to start a few games. I just love the way you can plug those guys in a lot of positions.
And I think you also got to give a coach a lot of credit too. He's really done a great job out there.
He could do an even better job if they get all the parts together. Hill, Hayward, Favors, Diao still have yet to play a game together in Utah uniforms. Coming up, our Fan Night Go-To Move bracket delivers a marquee matchup, the Dream Shake against Allen Iverson's crossover.
What if your car could make you money? Extra cash. Whenever you feel like driving. With Uber, you can earn when you want and show when you want. Okay, back at it. Sure, you might already have a great job, but this is a new way to earn. Because your car isn't just a car. It's a four-wheeled money-making machine. So get your side hustle on. Sign up at uber.com/drive now.
Introducing Polo Blue Eau de Parfum, the new intensity. Polo Blue Eau de Parfum, the new men's fragrance by Ralph Lauren.
You don't have to pay a lot to get a lot. At Cricket Wireless, plans now start at $30 a month, monthly taxes and fees included. And we have more 4G LTE coverage than T-Mobile or Sprint. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Start writing your style wish list. Right now at Men's Warehouse, it's buy one, get one free on great gift ideas. Select suits are $179.99. Plus, top it off with 60% off outerwear and all dress and casual pants. Happy holidays from Men's Warehouse.
Oh, you're working, Scoots. Thanks,
You just light up that camera.
Shout out to your team, too, to start with, man. Real talk. I love your show, man.
Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern on NBA TV.
NBA League Pass and Next VR partnering up to offer one League Pass game per week in virtual reality. This week's game, Cavaliers in Milwaukee, tonight at 8 Eastern Time. So if you're a Samsung gearhead, be sure to check it out. NBA League Pass can be accessed by going to NBA.com or the free NBA app.
Allen shakes straight, the crowd goes up. He breaks his ankle. Oh, wow, what a great crossover move. The crossover might say no. Allen said yes, the crowd loves it. Dream shake from Keem Olajuwon. Oh, wow, the dream shake. Dream shake, baseline. A dream shake is in high gear tonight. The dream shake at its perfection.
It's Fan Night, which means time for our Go-To Move tournament bracket. Smitty and Zeke did not benefit from the home network advantage, obviously. But how is it that neither one of you advanced? It just seems unfair.
I ain't going to throw my guy on the bus that's from Chicago with the initials KC.
I'll say this. This tells you that this is a bracket with integrity, right?
Yes, that's what Kevin Couture. I love it.
Tonight's matchup.
You see, Isaiah's boycotting. He hasn't said a word.
He hasn't said a word. This is a good one. Usually,
this is the elimination.
Usually when I weigh in on this, I will tell you, it should be definitely this guy or this move. I don't know which way to go.
I'm taking the little guy. I'm just going to go with the little guy.
I think I know which way I'm leaning. And I think
I'm leaning to a dream
shake.
But Iverson's going to win because of the new social media. Dream probably don't have
That's a part of it, yeah.
Well, if you keep showing Iverson crossing over Jordan, he won.
Plus, Olajuwon's biggest fans are a little older, so maybe not into the social media as well. You got to factor this into the vote.
Yeah.
But these are both great.
Ooh, this one right here.
Well, especially little guys right now, they got all the ball handling stuff. People don't even play this way anymore. So there's no post-up moves in the game.
Oh, love that.
That's beautiful right there.
It's beautiful.
Watch this one, see. Let's get it.
Yeah, it's got a little of that, Joel Embiid.
But it's antique now. It's a classic.
It is.
You know, you go see this in the museum now. You know, there's nobody in the game who's playing this way or does this. You know, what Iverson is doing, we got a lot of people imitating this. What Dream has done, like I say, it's a museum piece.
You sound like you're arguing against yourself a little bit here, and here's my argument for the Dream Shake.
Wait, explain.
Well, you talked about how great the Olajuwon move is, and that no one's doing it anymore. You make it sound harder than the crossover. That's what I heard.
No, I'm saying nobody plays like that anymore.
No more bigs.
Right.
There's no more bigs who plays that way. Not that it's that difficult to do.
Oh, okay, I see.
But it's you know, it's a museum piece.
To me, he wins my vote because it's the Dream Shake. It's named after him. It's his signature.
If you have your own
Lots
move,
of folks
win.
did the crossover.
You can't win if you have your own move. That's impossible.
That's because the Smitty failed.
The Smitty and the Dream
Smitty didn't make it.
It's impossible.
AI was one of the great purveyors of the crossover, don't get me wrong, but lots of folks had crossovers or have it. Marcus Morris with a bucket there. Pistons up a half dozen in Charlotte. We'll check in.
It's the Joseph A. Bank Buy One, Get One Free sale going on now store-wide. Plus, all executive wool and cashmere silk blend sport coats are $129. All wool casual car and pea coats are only $149. And all traveler sport shirts and cotton sweaters are only $39. Only at Joseph A. Bank.
Rated 3.
It was hard enough finding the right girl. With the perfect ring, there was no pressure there.
You found the perfect girl. Now let me and the diamond experts at Zales help you find the perfect ring. The Vera Wang Love Collection. Designed through Zales, the diamond store. Two hearts is one. My interpretation of love. The Kindred Heart pendant for the Vera Wang Love Collection. For all lovers. Exclusively at Zales, the diamond store.
This Friday, from the producer of Insidious.
I don't use religious methods. I go inside the victim's mind. I a victim from the inside.
Incarnate, rated PG-13, in theaters this Friday.
This new Crown Royal Vanilla, so good, so smooth. Don't get me started on the vanilla. I'll vanilla this whole room up.
You're gonna do what?
Vanilla smooth. Vanilla in your ear. Vanilla in your nose already. See that? Vanilla on your sweet tooth. And now, I'm gonna vanilla your soul.
Vanilla, so good, so good.
Here's something to get stuck on this holiday season. Switch to Cricket Wireless and get the Samsung Galaxy Amp2 for free. Plus, plans now start at $30 a month. Just a little holiday cheer from the merrier carrier. Cricket Wireless, something to smile about.
Kemba Walker. Uh-oh, he left. Carnage Ishmael is left on the floor.
See, when you look at him, though.
See, I think those should be offensive fouls.
Yeah, this should be offensive fouls.
Because you shouldn't be allowed to push the defender or body check them and get away with it. I mean, they call it a move now. In my neighborhood, that was a fight.
Supposed to be standing down.
No, you can't push me and then shoot. That ain't no move. Yeah, you gotta have some real dribble moves to get me off you. But if you're gonna push me with your hand or body check me, and and make me fall over. And then, yeah, that's a fight, dude. We're fighting over that.
Well, part of it is that you can't, as a defender, you can't put your hands on the offensive player anymore, so your balance is thrown.
Yeah,
I mean, that's...
I can't touch you no more.
Right.
And now, as an offensive player, you get to push me.
You get to bump a little bit sometimes if you're smart
on the west side of Chicago, that is a fight. On
this game
the east side of Detroit, that's a fight.
This game is being played in Charlotte.
And Charlotte,
not a fight in Charlotte.
In Charlotte, we call it a move.
46 all there with a little over 4 minutes to go in the second half. I mentioned earlier, Pistons are 1-8 on the road so far. It's the second stop of the 4-game road trip for them after losing by, 18 in Oklahoma City the other night. Hoping to get Reggie Jackson back here sometime soon. He had his first full practice of the season yesterday, but you guys know how long it takes to get into full mode. It was interesting. It was interesting with Drew Holiday, how quickly he came back and started playing well. But that's the exception, not the rule.
It is. Players are totally different. I remember when Mark Price tore his ACL. It's like he got quicker when he came back, Isaiah. I mean, he was splitting double teams. I remember when Dominique blew out his Achilles. I said, wow. You know, Nick, a lot of his game is athleticism. He was jumping just as high. And now you get a chance to see, like you said, Drew Holiday was fantastic when he comes back. Looking forward to Reggie Jackson. And if he comes back healthy, it gives the Pistons a guy, I always say, that can draw two. He can beat his guy, draw another guy, and then you got to have two guys on Drummond, so the other three guys are running free. So Reggie Jackson can draw two. That's going to definitely help the Pistons.
And I think the expectations in Detroit are different than they are in New Orleans. New Orleans is a team that we say is undercome. They didn't make the playoffs. Detroit was a team that was in the playoffs, coming into the season with high expectations. And, with Jackson going out, their confidence has been shaken a little bit. So you're looking for him to come back and and propel them to another level where they can compete with the Celtics, where they can compete with the Raptors, because that's where we thought this Pistons organization and this Pistons team was headed after that playoff series that they had with Cleveland, that they fought and played so valiantly in, that, they competed really hard. So you thought that they would come back this year with a little bit more energy, a little bit more force, and take that next step up to compete with the Bostons and the Torontos.
And they're 8-10 right now. It's not like all is lost. New Orleans, speaking of them, they got off to that horrific start and really have a hole to climb out of. The Pistons have kind of maintained in the meantime. You don't want to be 8th, obviously, because that more than likely means Cleveland in the first round. Where do you think they can land? I mean, what's the ceiling?